Right, friends. I'm on the highway trail with Prospect and the ride stronger. Just say I just teach you my life and get it on video for you. If you aware of how pretty the trail is. Um, anyway, let's keep going. All right, here we go down the trail. Well, that's for sale. That's a nice property. It's kind of cool on the trail today right here. When the sun comes out, it's going to be awful humid because it's awful moist. Back earlier in the year when it was real dry, mosquitoes weren't an issue. But now that we've started getting a little rain, the mosquitoes are terrible. I can't even go outside in my own yard. Like putting this bike on the back of the truck. I got bit 2 or 3 times. Anybody got any suggestions on how to get rid of them, let me know. I'll certainly try to do it. I think they're pretty evil. When I was working on my hatchet that I posted yesterday, I put the thermocell in my shed because the little buggers will sneak in there and get you too. Whoop, almost got the butterfly. If you happen to watch the fishing video that me and my brother did, it's only 6 minutes long. I think it's minorly entertaining. We could have caught some more bass, but they just weren't biting. That should have been. I mean, we threw the kitchen sink at it. It just didn't work out. Well, we caught a lot of fish. But it was fun, and we had a good time. And then we saw the bald eagles and some ospreys, different things. The photography is beautiful. The lake is beautiful. So if you haven't seen it, check it out after you watch this video. This DJI Action 4 camera takes really great video. I'm still learning to use it. When I get everything figured out on it and how to work it, it'll be great. My biggest issue, and I'm sure that every YouTube's biggest issue when they started out at content creator, is trying to edit these videos and learning how to use the editing software. The video I tried to make last week on the trail somehow recorded it in slow motion. And the audio was terrible on it because it was in slow motion and I couldn't make it right. So that's why I never did release anything other than the AI edited little short that I did. I want to go down there. This is only the second time I've ridden on this part of the trail. It's cool. This runs from Prospect to Farmville to downtown Farmville. And going to Farmville, it's a downhill grade. Coming back, it's uphill. Which I guess makes sense, doesn't it? I'll slow on down for this road crossing because I don't know what road it is and how busy it is. But we are definitely going downhill. Which any reclaimed railroad trail is not going to have but so much grade in it just because the simple physics of trains with metal wheels on metal rails are not going to pull but so big a grade. All right. Since we are going down a grade, it's very easy on the battery, but you need to save some because coming back up, not going to be as easy on the battery. Like I say, I ride in assist mode 1 because I want to make the battery last as long as I can make it last. When I drain the battery today and I get back to the house, I won't charge it until I get ready to go on another 20-mile ride, and then I'll go ahead and charge it up to 100%. I'll leave it as long as it's above 20%. I'm not going to charge it, as from what I understand, it's better to keep it like that between 20 and 80% than leave it on a full charge, because it degrades the cells over time faster. So my goal is to make it last as long as I can. I also keep my battery in the house out of the hot, and in the wintertime out of the cold. I did order a bag that's made out of like ballistic nylon with some fire protection built into it to store it in. And so I keep it in that. Here comes a car flying around the corner. It will surely run me over if I get up on it. No regard for anybody riding on the trail. How you doing? I shouldn't have said that. He slowed down. He's a nice guy. That's really a pet peeve I have. The road that I live on is out in the county, and the speed limit is 35 miles an hour. And I'm 64. I'm the youngest neighbor in my neighborhood, and people routinely hit 60 miles an hour coming up the road, and with no regard to anybody going to the mailbox or anything. And it's very, very disrespectful to ride through somebody's 35-mile neighborhood going 60 miles an hour. You know, everybody was young one time. Everybody did stupid stuff, but you know, my mailbox has been hit probably 5 times in the years that I've lived in that house. My neighbors have been hit 5 times. And so if you were standing at the mailbox when that happened, what's your chances of survival? You know, people just don't realize what they're doing or don't think about it. But it's a pet peeve of mine. Another one is a pet peeve when people throw their garbage out in my yard or in my neighbor's fields. Have a little respect for other people if you don't have any for yourself. It's a boy that I used to work with used to tell people. And that's enough of that on my high horse. I'll get off those subjects. But it is, I'm going to take my time pedaling down this grade and save these old legs because I know when I get to Farmville and start back, I got to pedal back up it. I can't let my legs wear out either. Across the farming road right here. Ooh, that was a bump. Last week when I was at the visitor center, it was still closed for renovation. I thought it was only going to be closed for a week, but I guess I was wrong, or maybe I got the amount of time that was going to be closed wrong. I'm anxious to see that, what they've done with the inside of it when I get to go back down there. Ooh, bumpy. Maybe today we'll get to see somebody riding a horse on the trail. I haven't seen that yet. I've seen where the horses have been, if you know what I mean, but I haven't seen any horses on the trail yet. I think a few of the places along the trail have maybe at least one horse farm where you could just go right off the farm onto the trail. That would be pretty cool. Well, you're gonna have to call me Camping with Champion, because I noticed I didn't have my gloves on when we were riding. And then I said, well, I left them in my helmet. So I reached up on my head and realized that my helmet and my gloves are sitting on the bike carrier of my truck, and I left without them. But since I've already been 3.3 miles, it's probably a bad idea, but I'm not going back and getting them. So that was a mistake that's on me. Not only did I do that, I drove 20 miles from my house to Prospect, unloaded my bike, and realized that I'd pick up my side-by-side keys instead of my keys to my battery on my e-bike. So I just calmly loaded my bike back on my truck, drove 20 miles back to Appomattox, got my keys, and came back. So I'm having a Camping with Champion day, which I'm usually pretty good about not doing, but yeah, stuff happens. Sometimes all you can do is laugh at yourself. My helmet fits my head pretty good, so I don't even know I've got it on when I've got it on. But if I fall off this bike and hit my head, I'll know I don't have it on. So y'all say a little prayer that that didn't happen. All right, we're gonna go across the road. All right, here we go. The doggy is barking at me. He can bark all he wants as long as he doesn't chase. My dog, Elle, y'all seen her in the videos, she'll bark at you too if she sees you. But she doesn't want to hurt you. She just wants to love on you. The bad thing about Elle loving on you is she weighs 112 pounds, and she can knock you over if you're not prepared for it. She doesn't mean to be rough. She just loves people, which is a good thing about a lab. But I do imagine if you were going to try to break into my house when she was there and she heard you, you'd be scared to come in. But she can bark like thunder. Smells, somebody's burning something, leaves or something. And I had all kinds of issues last time I rode with the, like I said, I had the camera in slow motion, and then I got down the trail and the camera cut off and said that my memory chip was full. So then I had to move the memory from my phone, from my camera to my phone, and that memory was full. So I was deleting stuff out on the trail, and then none of it came out like it was supposed to. So hopefully this is a lot better. Certainly am trying to make it better. I think the next thing on my list of cool stuff to get for this is going to be some kind of follow me drone. Since my camera is a DJI, I think that they make a follow me drone at a reasonable price for a drone that I may try to invest in, which I think would be a pretty cool way to do videos. That was a wild cherry tree that I just drove under right there. You don't see any of them. It was full of cherries too. It's almost like riding through a rainforest. Is green and lush as all this is. It's pretty wild. All right, got to be careful right here. There's a stick across the road, and I don't want to die. And I don't want anybody else to die. I'm going to stop the bike right here and get this out the trail. Because nobody wants to go over their handlebars and get hurt. And put the kickstand down. Storms, trees down people's yards and stuff. Thankfully, it's not in my yard. I got 2 oak trees in my yard that are probably 300 years old. And yeah, that's a civic duty for the day. Now I'm back on the bike. I haven't done it yet, but I need to go ahead and buy a year-long pass to park at the state parks, because I've been on this one almost enough within a $10 of paying for a $40 pass. And plus the fact, when you do it, you don't have to take time to stop and pay every single time you come to the park. And so I think that's going to be my next purchase. I'm old enough where I've got a lifetime hunting license, a lifetime fishing license, a lifetime trout stamp. So it's nice when you don't have to remember to buy that every year. And after you get past a certain age, it's not that expensive. I think mine was $60 for each license. Which makes it not so bad if you're going to continue to do it. And I'm coming up on a piece of equipment on the trail, if it's for the state park or for a farm. That's a tractor with a bucket on the back of it. It's a mower. Look at that rock slide. Y'all see that? That's a big rock. If anybody watches this and want to make a comment, tell me what you'd like to see or what you don't like that I do, so I can try to get more viewers or whatever. Just be respectful and make a comment, and I'll respond to you. And if you have a question about why I do something or what I'm doing, I'll try to answer that. I will say this e-bike is one of the funnest things that I've ever spent my money on. I like my side by side and taking the dog to the pond in it. But there's something about riding on one of these trails with nobody else on it. Some days there are, but I haven't seen anybody so far today. It's cool. I can pedal it for 10 miles down and 10 miles back, and I'm getting exercise. I'm not sitting on the couch just watching YouTube videos. I'm out doing stuff. And that's why I can't wait to retire, because I want to do stuff all the time. Work is getting in the way of my finishing up the rest of my life with things that I want to do instead of things that are a necessity for me to do to live. I've worked since I was 16 years old, and I'm ready to be a kid again, because in my mind, there's no way I'm 64 years old. I'm not even 50. 25 or 30, maybe. Black walnuts in the road. All right, I've been 6 miles already. It doesn't seem like it. It's probably because it's all downhill and I'm actually going 15 miles an hour and with no effort. I'm pedaling the whole way, but since it's going downhill, the bike is not working that hard and I'm not working that hard. When we start back up, the bike is going to have to do a little work and I'm going to have to do a little work. I did get my pieces for my bike to add the camera to the handlebar, and we're going under Route 460 right here. That was a tractor trailer going over the bridge that you heard. The trail goes under 460 right here, and then when you get on the other side of the farmville, it goes over 460, so you cross it twice. I don't know what that was, but there was something loud in the woods. Was a deer running from me or a bear, which I've seen both on the trail. But something was beating feet down through there. Let me know in the comments if you enjoyed Daniel being in my videos. Um, maybe I can convince him to do some more stuff with me. When I get to go in October trout fishing with my cousin and go camping, he's a character too. He's a heck of a trout fisherman. He's younger than I am. He's about 50, I would guess. And he will get over in the water and wade around. I'm a little more, I'll put my waders on and I'll get in the water, but I'm not wading down through the river like I was 50 again. But the last time we went, we caught trout. It's the first time we've ever been camping where we did not keep any trout. He had some fish he caught earlier we fried up in the camp, so we just turned them all loose. We didn't have to fool with them. Which the only bad thing about trout in Virginia is that in the summertime, the streams get low and the water gets hot, and most of them are going to die if they don't get caught out, unless it's a stream like I think the Jackson River that runs out of one of the big lakes, and the water stays cooler. In Virginia, brook trout is the only naturally occurring trout. I think in the Jackson River, there's some brown trout that reproduce just because the water comes off the bottom of, I think, Lake Moomaw. I'm sure they're pretty fish because a native brook trout is a lot prettier fish than a stocked brook trout, because of the diet they eat, I guess, in the streams. And they don't get very big. Maybe if you caught one that was 12 inches long would be a trophy, just because they're subject to their environment, and how big the creek's in and how much food is there determines how big they can get. So I never, ever keep a native trout. Make sure to always wet my hands and turn them loose, because it takes those little fish a long time to get big enough to be that big, and you want them to reproduce and keep on being a natural resource in Virginia. Like I say, the stock trout, you're paying for those trout as put and take, and as long as you are going to use the fish, keep them. Native trout, let them go. All right, we're going to go over right here. I'm going to slow up and let these bikes come across so we don't meet on the bridge. This is Route 15, Business in Farmville. How are y'all today? How you doing? That's the first two riders I've seen. and I've been almost 8 miles. It's a beautiful day. And when I looked at the forecast at the beginning of the week, they was talking about rain, 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 rain. And if you believe the weather forecast, a lot of times when they're calling for showers and the percent of showers and all that stuff, you'll put off plans for no reason, and then it won't rain until in the afternoon if it rains at all. Which one of the next things I'm going to work on this week on vacation. I put the handle on that hatchet that I got in the mail from eBay, and I made a little video of that. I'm going to go ahead and I don't know what this guy's doing up here, but he's on one side, he's on the other side. It makes me a little nervous. I'm going to make the sheath and the overstrike, and I'll post that on YouTube, and when I get done, it'll be for sale somewhere. I'm coming up behind you, brother. There's a mansion over there, an old house. Looks like from colonial times. It may not be, but it looks like it. I'm not sure what this road is we're crossing right here, but it's a residential road. Nope, it's not a road. It's a street. Yeah, I was wrong. I am wrong sometimes. Don't tell my wife. I'm just kidding. She knows I'm wrong all the time. All right. You got 80% battery life left after almost 10 miles, almost 9 miles, 8.9 miles. So that's okay. The folks walking right here, I'm going to be respectful and slow down and get on to the crowd straight. Take my time riding. Yeah, walking, living their best life. How are y'all today? All right. Here we are. We're going to come out in downtown Farmers. Farmers is the home of the Longwood Lancers. Longwood Scholars. The two second cousins that graduated from Longwood. I think both of them are teachers. My wife works down here. She used to work in Lynchburg for a while, and now she works here in the same town that I work in. So that's convenient in case we ever need to coordinate drives or anything like that. Football. It is convenient. Although I go to work 6 o'clock in the morning, she doesn't go for 8:30. So I get off at 2. Most times she doesn't get home until like the 5. How y'all doing? How you doing today? All right. We're downtown. Street over there in the bike shop. She may go in there, see what they got cool. And when they walk up the street and see my wife, but they're looking, let the people who work at the office. There you go. Hmm. Now you get to see old ugly me instead of the square. And you can see my knees. I am feminine. I don't sit ride the bike just slow. That was the teacher purpose of having a bicycle. You pay attention, I don't have my helmet on because I left it on the back of my truck. And I told you before I'm having a bad day as far as doing dumb stuff. So in case I don't do any more dumb stuff before I get home. Check out that rock slide. We came from up there, ended up down here. That's pretty impressive. I bet it made a good noise when it hit. Man. We'll ask Random Adventures 2.0 what kind of rock it is, because he's a rock hound. All right, on with the ride. I want to stop and show y'all this. This is a cool little antique stoplight. It's at the start of the trail that prospect. Can I say that it runs the place? You put the bike on the truck and go in and pick up and back it, you know, somehow. It's actually going on the place. And put it in the truck. Well, I'm back at the truck. It was a lot harder riding back than riding down because you're going uphill. And I got a good workout. Now it's time to get home and do other things. So thank you for watching. If you would like and share my video, if you're not subscribed, please subscribe. It helped me do more stuff. And I appreciate y'all. More than you know. Thank you a lot.